What is up? How's it going? Welcome. BTC community, XRP community, DLT community, crypto communities, Blue Crew, and all the communities out there. Guys, welcome to another DL Talk. Hopefully everybody is doing well. What's up, Blue Crew? What's up, Green Giants? How's it going, Ledger Citizens? Guys, please let me know how the quality of the stream is coming through. How's the video? How's the audio? Hopefully it's a very pleasant experience. Let me know if the music is a little too loud. You know, always appreciate the input of the viewers. And guys, thanks so much for any new subscribers to the channel. Once again, always grateful. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a pro trader, and I'll never tell you what to do. It is a wonderful, what is it, Thursday today? Starting to lose track of the days, but either way, good to see everybody. Thank you guys so much for the input. What's up, Jim D? Jim D being first. DN, he said he was first, but I got Jim D here. DN, good to see you. Bullish Crypto Sniper, another Green Giant amongst us. Josiah Turner, good to see you. Animal 54. What's up, Animal 54? Sniff in the house. Juno devs are a bunch of scum bag puss cakes, but hello, everyone. Hey, man, yeah, I think Juno's just going through a massive FUD period. I still have hope for Juno in the long run, and I'm still in gains from my initial Juno investment, so whatever the volatility happens to be for now. But yeah, man, people get really lost in the Twitter talk and all the stuff that goes on with that. And, you know, hey, Juno, it's tough being an interoperable smart contracts platform without some hiccups. And Juno looking like it's hitting some hiccups. But it's funny how all this FUD always happens around like peaks of these cryptos. Solana FUD, you know, when it hit $200, just flying past $100 and went to like $250 or something. And then now Juno, you know, obviously when it went from like what, $5 up to like $35 or $40 or so. Yeah, it makes sense that we're getting this type of retracement, but it's always funny that the FUD comes after the fact. This is for entertainment purposes only. What's up, DN? Good to see you. Guys, appreciate you guys. Wow, you guys are bringing the bullishness. Thanks for the 11 viewers, the 8 likes. You guys are amazing. We do have some great news today that we're going to be going over. We got Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen calls crypto transformative in wide-ranging speech. We also got the Bank of Japan to adopt a new standard for improved payment processing. Exciting times. We know Bank of Japan has some pretty good connections there with Ripple. What's up, everybody? Thanks so much. I'm just setting up something right here. Give me 1 second. Appreciate everybody. And once again, guys, if you haven't checked out our other channel, Ledger City Radio, we just released an update on Ledger City Radio. We still have so many segments from the Mo Morrissey interview that we had, or the Ledger City game interview that we have, that we're just releasing little tidbits of it. The whole interview as well as on the channel, but, you know, some people only have time to check out a couple of minutes of stuff. And some really good questions were brought up there. So check out Ledger City Radio channel too if you guys love Ledger City and are excited about the metaverse coming. Bullish BK, what's up, Bullish? How you doing? Rye Guy in the chat. What's up, Rye Guy? Juno tweeted that the chain would be running again by 2100 Eastern time. Okay. What's up, Blues and Greens? Working in a vape manufacturing facility. Got lots of freebies. Oh, nice. Nice. Rye Guy's going to be nice and toasty for this stream, that's for sure. What's up, dude? Guys, thanks for the 10 likes. What's up, everybody? Shout out to the Blue Crew. Always a good, strong viewer-to-like ratio. We rarely go over 20 viewers or, you know, 30 likes or anything like that, but it's always good just hanging out with this strong crew, man, because we all know what we're doing here. We all bring the info. You guys bring me so much information on the chat. You guys update me so much on whatever, you know, whatever's going on in the crypto space, but we always try to keep that eye of the tiger, right? And we're going to be looking over some ISO 20022 stuff today, which is going to be exciting. And then, you know, looking at charts, looking at the deep reds. That's what we do here. Appreciate everybody. So looking at the XRP chart, you know, still looking pretty bullish, I have to say. I mean, if we can confirm a higher low right here and still, you know, from higher than the previous lows here that we've had before our run up, could be a good time for XRP to have a nice weekend. We could project to maybe 94 cents, possibly, before meeting some resistance there, and that would be a major sign of a breakout right here for XRP if it were to go to the downside. If XRP continues to break towards the downside, I would say we would go to about the 78.6, which would take us to about 65, maybe 67 cents. But as you can see already in our history, there's a lot of buying pressure that comes in the moment we hit 60 cents. So I'm assuming we're going to either get somewhere in between, 75 and 65 if we do break down towards the downside. But still some bullishness, man. Stock RSI, the charts are looking really good. Like, a lot of indicators are showing that we could have a bullish weekend, or at least bullish next week. So very exciting to see what's going to be happening in these coming days. I mean, we've obviously had some selling pressure in the past week or so, but the previous weeks was a lot of good buying pressure that was coming in. It makes sense that some people are just taking short-term trade profits. And on the monthly, still looking hella bullish, almost ready to cross over, if anything. So either, near the end of this month or May could really be some bullish action for XRP. Let's see what's going on in the past 24 hours. Once again, shout out to the Blue Crew, the Green Giants, and everybody tuning in. It's a wonderful Thursday. I hope everybody else is having a wonderful day as well. I told Bitcoin Conference not to worry. Bitcoin will be running on XRPL, so their investments will be safe. Nice. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin could still be a store of value. It could still be a store of value on the XRPL. It could still be like a digital collectible. Just for history's sake, right? But yeah, in the past 24 hours, WadsPay looking like it's doing some good things. I don't know too much about this token, to tell you the truth. I just know there's some XRP community members who are hella bullish on this token. It has good volume that runs through it for something that's positioned at 1210. I don't know too much about this one though, man, but there's definitely some XRP community members that are very, very bullish on WTK and WadsPay, and it looks like they're having a pretty nice day, and past 30 days for that matter, up 278%. Not a crypto that I would be chasing the pump on personally, but to each his own, and congratulations to those who are making some good gains. Gifto having a random spurt up in the past 30 days, about 91% up. Gifto is a very interesting project to just keep a track of. Obviously, major connections with Tron as well, part of that Tron ecosystem. We had Ecomi on our Deep Reds list for some time, and now we've gotten about a 15% pump up towards the upside in the past 24 hours. So Ecomi and Omi doing some really good things. Looks like Cody can't go under 30 cents anymore, man. It's looking like it's trying to create a really strong floor there. It went to 29 cents, 28 cents for a second, and the next thing you know, it's back up to 30 right here with Cody. I mean, now that it's on Binance US, guys, Cody can definitely do some damage, without a doubt. Part of that hard Yaka portfolio. Same thing with Kava, and Kava today launching its Ethereum code chain on its platform. So this is huge. Another avenue in the Cosmos ecosystem, adding interoperability with the Ethereum ecosystem, and Kava just continues to grow and grow and grow. They don't stop working. And once again, also part of that hard Yaka portfolio, super low supply. It has a lot of things that we like in a crypto right here. Low supply, right? Good volume, real team, building real products, freaking releasing new products during down selling pressure, which is the best, right? That's what we like. We like seeing a lot of innovation happening despite selling pressure happening on the project, right? Because then that means when it starts to turn that corner, that innovation is going to start to play a part, right? So Kava already breaking out on its monthly, right? But then, Kava hasn't been around for too long. So let's go to the daily here. Yeah, Kava looking like it could have a breakout right here. If it can break past 470 and close, we're talking about maybe going back up to the top of this channel, which would take us to about close to $7 for Kava. That was a hell of a time to be buying in on the low right there, though, for Kava when it was at $2.89, $3. Crazy, man. It's had really good momentum. I mean, look at all these consecutive buying days for Kava, and the stock RSI is showing that there's still more volume to come for this crypto. So Kava looking pretty damn good, not gonna lie. I think there's enough energy for it to at least get back to $6 plus, and that could be very exciting. Very bullish on this project, like long term though. It hasn't been around for a long time, but they just keep walking their talk. They're involved with the Interledger protocol as well. The Ripple team knows them. So exciting times ahead for this project. Good to see it up in the past 24 hours. What else do we got here? QuantStamp partnered with Hedera Hashgraph. One to keep an eye out for. I don't know if I'd be chasing this pump, but QuantStamp definitely starting to wake up a little bit right here. Let me see what else. Cypherium. Cypherium's known for some high volatility, claiming to be a CBDC, complement type of technology, distributed ledger technology, part of the blockchain service network. Could be a major sleeper this year, you guys. Like, Cypherium could definitely be a major sleeper in the crypto space, because I think it's like not even how many. Let me see what its all-time thing is. Yeah, it literally came out in like 2021. So Cypherium, these are the early days to be taken advantage of a crypto that's literally just come out this year and is claiming to be ISO 20022 compliant, already developing some pretty good partnerships. Cypherium could be a gem right here. Remember, guys, we're being in the crypto space. We're in this daily, right? So, we have a microscope on the market that not a lot of other people do. Not many people know about the Kavas. Not many people know about Cody and Cypherium, right? So, hell, and even more so with Cypherium, not many people in the crypto space really know about Cypherium at all. And next thing you know, maybe even next year or in 2023, all of a sudden Cypherium is like, what? Let me see what the total supply is. So like a 50-cent coin or 25-cent coin. That's a 25x from the price that it is right now, right? So, I'm not, once again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'll never tell you what to do, but I think as a swing for the fences type of crypto that has could possibly have some really strong fundamentals backing it. Cypherium seems very, very interesting. Knowles doing some really good things with cross-chain technology. I think Knowles is finally starting to come into his own. We talked about Knowles for a long time. We talked about it when it was at 25 cents. We haven't talked about it more recently just because we're still holding, still staking. But Knowles, I wouldn't be chasing this pump with Knowles, but Knowles definitely has that potential to be a $1+ crypto as well. Aqua at 003 is looking like a good opportunity right there, but we'll get into the reds later. Let's jump over to some Twitter news, and then we're going to get into the Janet Yellen news. Appreciate the 17 likes to the 16 viewers. You guys are amazing. I wonder when Cypherium will get sued by the SEC, right, DN? This is for entertainment purposes only. Yeah, what's up, dude? Strain Cards Crypto Way of Life, how you doing? He's saying, looks fucking good. Hell yeah, man. I was staring at someone else's portfolio. The big-time YouTubers took profits and had a vacation at the Bitcoin conference while we all stared at our portfolios. Yeah. Crypto Victo, how you doing? Coinadeck1, good to see you, man. Josiah Turner, love the Blue Crew. Cheers to you. Blink343, a green giants amongst us. What's up, Blink343? Good to see you, dude. I told the Bitcoin, conference not to worry. There we go. What's up, RPM? Good to see you. I love that Kava stuff. Yeah, me too, man. Hopefully they just get bigger and bigger. So let's jump into some Twitter news that we've just come across recently. Crypto.com exchange. Makes sense that they would be listing AKT finally. Oh, here, let me recalibrate. I had to move my position here really quick with the tiger. My tiger's going a little bit loony. Here we go. Give me a sec. All right. Oh, shoot. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. So Crypto.com exchange listing AKT Akash network. I'm still bullish on the decentralized cloud marketplace of Akash. You can get staking rewards for this crypto as well. And, it's really far down from its all-time high, right? So AKT and a super low supply crypto token as well. Kava and AKT and Iris token, I think, are like gems in this Cosmos ecosystem. But AKT could be getting ready. We see a double bottom that formed right here, setting up a support trend line. Could AKT go down even further? I just don't see it going down further than $1 But you never know, man. Crazy things do happen in this crypto space. It would be very tragic to see this happen for AKT, but testing previous levels of resistance as support, dabbling around the 78.6 retracement area. If there was a project that was oversold, clearly it would be this one. I've been saying this for a good while with AKT, but it just keeps selling off and going down. But this might be the pivot range right here, guys, and you could get a breakout up to $2 for AKT or close to it if it does decide to pivot at around this range. Let's zoom out and look at the monthly. Yeah, not much to go off on the monthly because it's such a new project. So we'll zoom in instead. Let's go at the 4-hour here. Yeah, 4 hours showing that it could respect this trend line right here. Let's move this trend line a little bit lower for the 4-hour. Yeah, you could go as low as 123, maybe 120, and that have a chance to go to 161 for AKT right here. GDLT, is Kava staking on Kepler immediately available to unstake like on Kraken? No. Kava staking, I believe on Kepler still takes about a good amount of time to... I think it's just the way that Kepler does things is they make you wait 14 days. But the percentages may be different. Maybe on Kraken the percentages are smaller for staking, but you can immediately make it available after you unstake, versus Kepler maybe having a higher percentage for staking, but it takes some time to withdraw. I'm not sure I understand the question. I don't really code if that's what you're asking. I exist for entertainment purpose only. Yeah, DN, I hear you, man. XRP Tiny Papa in the house. What's up, guys? Guys, thanks so much for hitting the likes on the way in. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Oh, what happened right here? Audio track available? Unavailable? Okay, right on. Let me see. Big up to GDLT XRP for life. Yeah, buddy. Nick Mirando, how you doing, man? Here's a wrench. With the wrench comes great responsibility. Please use it wisely. So yeah, AKT, Akash Network, getting listed on Crypto.com exchange. Just more liquidity coming out for the decentralized cloud marketplace crypto token right here. All right. New post coming out from Ethan Beard. Last time I remember hearing from Ethan Beard was when he was talking with Greg Kidd, and he said he only invests in BTC and XRP. Is he starting to change his tune now? Because look at this. So does OpenSea adding Solana a serious challenge for Magic Eden? Or is the tide rising so fast that it lifts all ships? Solana NFTs, hashtag Solana NFTs. I'm very surprised to see, I think this guy's a marketing officer or something, chief marketing for Ripple, talking about Solana now. So it looks like he's invested in Solana NFTs as well. I thought he was only investing in XRP and BTC. It looks like he's holding some Solana, which is good to see. Good to hear. Makes me more bullish on the project myself, knowing that Ethan Beard is possibly holding some Solana and some Solana NFTs. Yeah, the percentage is a lot smaller on Kraken. Then, yep, that's it. That's the trade-off. 21 days to unstake. Yep, exactly. I've got a lot of XRP tokens, like 1 million of them. I get lots of free land in Ledger City, right? What should I do with it? DN, I mean, it's not a lot of free land. It's that your building is just going to be massive if you have all of it in one account. But if you have multiple accounts, that means you get multiple buildings. So, man, with 1 million XRP, which is unbelievable, man. Like, if any of you here have 1 million XRP, my lord, like, I am just full of envy, but also just happy for you guys, happy for the Blue Crew, happy for the Green Giants who are able to have that much XRP, like, my lord. But yeah, if you spread that out across multiple accounts, you could do 10 accounts of 100,000 XRP, and that means having 10 massive buildings. That's crazy. That is crazy, dude. So congratulations to those who have a ton of XRP, man. I can't even imagine ever touching that number, but you never know what the future holds. Maybe one of our other bags happens to moon before XRP, and maybe we can catch up with y'all. Maybe 1 billion. I don't know. I'm still counting. what do you do with the big building? I mean, we'll see what happens in the future, what features they allow. Imagine if like you do have a big building and you can explore every single floor of that building in the future. Devin, what's up, man? Good to see you. Appreciate you tuning in. Let me see this. XLM, what? You didn't know that IBM is the biggest developer of quantum computers? They own and have already built 16 quantum computers, and XLM is owned by, woo, what a show, Popcorn. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Stellar and WorldWire as well, but I'm also excited for Ripple and XRP. I'm excited for the first innovator, the first decentralized exchange that was ever created, the first crypto to want to be a bridge currency and a digital asset and not one that was trying to replace fiat. But I do believe XLM and XRP are going to be very complementary. Some people say XRP for banks, XLM for retail. I'm not too sure about that argument. I think that's a lack of research, to be honest, because XRP can do both. XRP has a lot. I mean, XLM and XRP can do both the cross-border game and retail game. Like, there's enough of those two in their supply to do it. So whichever one of them takes off or whichever one of them ends up being the one, you know, it's going to be exciting. Or whatever, both of them. Can't XLM do both too? Yeah, I mean, dude, when you have a fast digital asset that can allow you to do transfers within seconds for very cheap, and it can allow you to do bridge transfers, use it as a bridge tool or a bridge currency between other currencies to allow for fast, frictionless payments. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Yes, IBM has major connections to a lot of banks in the world, right? And they do create quantum computers. So, like, I'm very bullish on that. They are part of the ISO 20022 standards body as well. So, could it be XRP and XLM that just take a majority of the volume in the markets in the future? Definitely. Because they were very forward-looking to go against proof-of-work mining, to be energy efficient, to be a fast transaction token, to be pre-mined, right? Which is already a turnoff to a lot of crypto maxis or, you know, old-school crypto maxis at least. Hearing if a project was pre-mined is just the ultimate turnoff to them. Massive pump incoming. Be prepared. XRP Tiny Papa. I'm excited, man. We're projecting XRP for 94 cents at least for the next level. So that's going to be exciting times. You know, some good buying pressures coming up underneath today on XRP. But let's head into this right here. Interesting post by David Schwartz. I'm not sure if this is a joke or not, but check this out. Ripple's office has a floor with conference rooms named after crypto projects. So if you're with the project or are meeting with us, ask for the room named for your project, unless it's Tezos. That's a closet, which is pretty funny, but it doesn't look like I guess Tezos' room is just a little bit smaller, but you got Polkadot on here. You got Polygon on here. You got Solana on here, and then you got Tezos. And funny enough, all these, well, except for Matic, we never give Matic enough credit. But we should probably start giving Matic some credit. Like, if Ripple has these projects' names in their building and has dedicated rooms to them, that means there's possibly bridges being set between these protocols, these distributed ledger technologies. That means David Schwartz and Ripple are acknowledging that these projects are legitimate and real, right? So this makes me want to speculate into these 4 projects even more. It could even be a sign from David Schwartz himself saying, hey, these look like these could be 4 major winners in the crypto space, and Ripple and XRPL are looking to collaborate with them and be interoperable with them, right? So Polkadot, maybe a really good time to be taking advantage of Polkadot. Not many people know what Polkadot is yet still, and, you know, it is in the double-digit range already, but very low supply, right? And could be ready for a pop-off here too. So Polkadot looking rather tasty, especially after this post. Like, I would take this as a clue that, you know, these 4 are pretty good bets to be, you know, jumping into. But that's just my interpretation of it, right? Like, why would you have dedicated rooms named after these projects if they weren't real projects, right? So we know Tezos already has some mainstream appeal. It's, you know, it's collaborating with, you know, sports platforms, real estate, and them and Ripple are part of Securitize. So Tezos, you know, all of these, Polygon, Matic, Polkadot, and Solana. I mean, we already know Solana's a beast, but this is great to see Ripple. We've seen Ethan Beard acknowledge Solana, and we've seen David Schwartz acknowledge Solana. I think this is a pretty interesting clue just in terms of what could be some major blockchain platforms in the next coming years right there that'll probably be running a lot of traffic in the future. And they're all, what do they all have in common? Fast transactions, relatively cheap transactions fees, right? I think I don't know too much about Polkadot and Polygon Matic, but I know Tezos and Solana don't really have that high of gas fees, right? Oh, you're talking about the Ethereum high gas fees. Yeah, I think Polkadot and Matic have relatively low. Yeah, exactly. XDC is sponsor for the Red Bull F1 team. They're all over the place. There's a lot of subliminals with Tezos being shown in a lot of different markets. So Tezos is definitely not one to sleep on. I think all four of these are great, man. Like, this would be one hell of a portfolio if you have XRP, XLM, Algorand, HBAR, Polkadot, Polygon, Solana, Tezos, right? That's a hell of a strong portfolio right there for cryptos that are possible Ethereum killers that can at least transact very quickly, that are very cheap to transact with. You know, it's kind of been our mantra of this show for a really long time, is just going for the cryptos that can transact very quickly and cheaply, right? Mud San saying, you know, responding to the release update for Ledger City right here, saying, see you in the Ledger City game. Very exciting times indeed. Marvel Studios releasing a trailer for the new Doctor Strange and talking about multiverses. I wonder what's the bridge for all these different worlds, right? All these different currencies, right? Just another subliminal of the new digital transformation, the new globalization agenda on May 6th. I mean, look at this, like, devil symbolism, too. Even though I know that she's like a superhero and she ultimately means good. And her name's Phoenix, right? Or something like that. I don't think it's Phoenix. I forgot what her character... I know she's Wanda or something like that, right? WandaVision. From the show WandaVision. But, you know, just more subliminals being released through these superhero films, man. Coil releasing some really bullish stuff right here. The future of web and virtual worlds. Multiverses, right? The future of web and virtual worlds means one currency can't fit all. That's why you need a bridge. A bridge that can allow you to transact in any different type of currency that you desire. An interoperability protocol, Interledger, will connect ledgers from existing financial institutions to cryptocurrencies, virtual and offline payment systems. Really crucial right there. Offline payment systems. Very exciting times, man. I think Coil is going to finally start hitting its stride. We were really big on Coil when it's initially released. We're still really big on Coil up to now. And dude, I remember when Coil got released, so many people were like, it's okay, it's all right. I was like, guys, this is just something that started out. It was released like, what, late 2018? And so many people were, you know, with the initial release of something, everybody just really bags on it hard. There's like really hard critique. And that's why I'm really bullish with even Ledger City game and just being like, hey, it's something that you got to look forward to like a few years from now, a handful of years from now, right? And so Coil could be, in these next couple of years, really start to hit its stride. We're already seeing some really great news on this channel that we've been updating people on with Coil. I love this from the Bagman retweeting this. Free the standard. Free the Ripple. It's a really funny post right there. I dig that. Free the Ripple. Unlock that liquidity. Let's go. All right, guys. Let's jump into the main event here. The main piece of news. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen calls crypto transformative in wide-ranging speech. The U.S. official addressed CBDCs, stablecoins, and regulations, a digital dollar could become a trusted money comparable to physical cash, U.S. Secretary Janet Yellen said in her first speech on digital assets on Thursday. Speaking to attendees at an American university event, Yellen highlighted the extreme divergence of perceptions about cryptos, saying that often the case with transformative technologies. Some proponents speak as if the technology is so radically and beneficially transformative that the government should step back completely and let innovation take its course. On the other hand, skeptics see limited, if any, value in the technology and associated products and advocate that the government take a much more restrictive approach. She focused part of her speech on central bank digital currencies, an area of interest for U.S. policymakers over the past few years. The development of our currency to its own current form has been a dynamic process that took place over centuries. Today, monetary sovereignty and uniform currency have brought clear benefits for economic growth and stability. Our approach to digital assets must be guided by the appreciation of those benefits. Some have suggested a CBDC could be the next evolution in our currency. A recent report by the Federal Reserve opened a public dialogue about CBDCs and the potential benefits and risks that could be associated with issuing one in the U.S. Any potential CBDC design would have to address its impact on the financial system, ability to address financial crime and national security questions, and privacy implications, ability to address macro policy, and how it might interact with existing fiat currencies, stablecoins, or other CBDCs, Yellen said. Pointing to U.S. President Joe Biden's executive order on digital assets, Yellen said, any potential CBDC would have to support the dollar's role in international markets. I don't yet know the conclusions we will reach, but we must be clear that issuing a CBDC would likely present a major design and engineering challenge that would require years of development, not months. So I share the president's urgency in pulling forward research to understand the challenges and opportunities a CBDC could present to American interests. Guys, this does not sound bearish at all for crypto, and it doesn't sound overly bullish, but at least it's progress forward. Yellen highlighted 5 lessons she believes apply to the Treasury's work on digital assets through her speech. The financial system benefits from responsible innovation. The potential harms to vulnerable individuals if regulation does not keep up with innovation. Rules should focus on activities and their risks rather than technology specifically. The U.S. benefits from the dollar's current role, and regulators should work with industry in supporting responsible innovation. The Treasury Secretary pointed to specific concerns about the existing crypto markets, such as runs on stablecoins. She referenced that last year's Iron Finance run, when its Titan token fell in price, which led to Iron stablecoin losing its peg to the US dollar. This is not hypothetical. A stablecoin run occurred in June 2021 when a sharp drop in the price of the assets used to back a stablecoin set off a negative feedback loop on stablecoin redemptions and further price declines. So yeah, great news coming out here. I mean, nothing very bearish at all about crypto. And very convenient that Ripple's logo is kind of right there on the side, the Triskelion type of, even though it's in a box form, right here in the background of this still. Very interesting. What am I, extra VOD? Very interesting, you guys. So let me get the music back on. Let me catch up with the chat. Appreciate everybody. Guys, thanks for the 21 likes, the 19 viewers. You guys are amazing. And thanks to any new subs to the channel. We're trying to get to 4K now. That would be awesome if we can get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But that's going to be definitely a tall order to ask for. But we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. I'm 61 and she must be knocking on 80. She should step aside. She can't stand crypto. She reckons it's just criminals and tax dodgers that use crypto. Yellen looks like a giant Q-tip. Yeah, very interesting. But she's supporting it now. She's just like she just thinks it has contingency, which seems reasonable. Enarum in the house. Digital Gold. What's up, dude? Good to see you, Enarum. Appreciate you tuning in, by the way, man. Long time no see. Janet Yellen's the queen of treasure trolls. Just taking a sip of my tea here. Give me a second, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for the 22 likes. We're going to jump into this news about BOJ to adopt new standard for improved payment processing. I wonder what that standard is going to be. Does GDLT eat Frosted Flakes? Because they're great. Unfortunately, dude, I used to eat Frosted Flakes a lot. I'm kind of on a health kick right now where I just eat oatmeal in the morning like a freaking average stooge. Digital gold rush is coming. I certainly hope so, my dude. I certainly hope so, man. I mean, if you're saying an interim, you must know something's up, dude. I'm excited. I'm excited, bro. I mean, we've been in a bear market or a bear cycle for about, what, a year now? So that would be good. All right. So BOJ to adopt new standard for improved payment processing. Adoption of the ISO 20022 standard should improve payment processing efficiency and promote interoperability among financial institutions, financial market infrastructures, and end users, the BOJ said. The Bank of Jamaica has taken a lead. Oh, I thought it was the Bank of Japan. Man, wow, I missed out. I should have read this article. We already read this yesterday. So excuse me, guys. I slipped up there. I really thought it was the Bank of Japan. At least that's what it looked like when I was clicking on the link here to check it out. But yeah, I guess, just more info on that. Adoption to the ISO 20022 standard should improve payment processing. We already read this article yesterday. So yeah, just awesome to hear Bank of Jamaica jump into the ISO 20022 standard. My bad, guys. That was a little bit of a slip up right there. So I guess the only news that we had outside of our Twitter news here was just Janet Yellen and her speech right here and what they were saying. So yeah, let's jump into the deep reds then. Birds of Jamaica aren't real. Nice. Lyric Zach Hudson, how you doing, man? When I'm not sure if she's changed her mind or if crypto has changed in the last few years. I mean, it makes sense that they were going to eventually change sentiment, right? I think they all knew what the plan was going to be, especially if we feel like they're trying to implement Ripple or Stellar to be standards in the market, right? They still don't talk about those cryptos. They'll still mention Bitcoin or Ethereum over those cryptos, right? So there's still sleepers, but yeah, we're starting to see sentiment. I mean, banks love talking about central bank digital currencies, and they love talking about distributed ledger technology. So I think we all know which direction this is going, right? I'm excited for November when ISO starts. Yep, the November 2022. I think it's going to be near the end of the month in November. ISO 20022 Big Bang migration. That's what we're really excited about. We talk about it every day because I think we're like the only YouTube channel that really talks in depth about ISO 20022 and really maybe even started the trend for YouTubers to talk about ISO 20022 more often. I mean, I don't want to give myself too much credit, but you do definitely start seeing a lot more YouTubers talking about ISO 20022 all of a sudden. I mean, more than it was definitely before in 2018 or 2019, right? Have you seen Future Coin? Future Coins? I don't know what that is, man. Web 3.0? I mean, Web 3.0 is now becoming like another like hot thing to like say in your profile as a crypto. It's Web3, it's cross-chain, it's interoperable, it's hell, if they start saying ISO 20022 compliant, then that's huge. Or stable coins, you can build stable coins on them. Like those type of buzzwords, a lot of projects are starting to use, man. All right, but let's continue on here. Let's go into the deep reds. Strong block. My lord, guys. What has happened to strong block? Does anybody here run a strong node? And is the stronger ticker now up? Is that why strong block is down? Is because they migrated over to stronger? There we go. That's stronger. Yep, that sounds more realistic right here. Okay, we got to get rid of strong block and now go with stronger, which is only available on Uniswap, oddly enough, man. Like, I don't know why they did this migration. Maybe because they're trying to migrate to their own chain. But it looks like RIP strong and welcome stronger. I've seen a lot of job postings asking for Web3 JS, which seems to be strongly aligned with Ethereum protocols. Maybe I'm wrong. Politicians express reasonable concerns, although seem to express too much concern, perhaps. Interesting, yeah. Future coin? Yeah, we'll look it up. We'll look it up. It's just called Future. Let me see this coin. Looks like it's just been going sideways for a really long time. Maybe it could be a pop-off type of thing. Future coin represents the future of technology across the entire world. Oh, man, when it starts... See, one of the turnoffs for me in terms of cryptos, it looks like it's Ethereum based or Binance Smart Chain based. So I really don't use those platforms myself, like at all. I don't use Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain. I rarely invest in cryptos that are related to those. And also when they start showing the tokenomics right away, like telling you the market cap, telling you the amount of investors, the total supply. Yes, I understand it's like them just being transparent, but it's also like them just trying to get the token price up, right? Like, I don't know. I could be totally wrong about this, and it could totally just freaking, moonshot for any. It looks like it's a Binance Smart Chain type of crypto here. I don't know about it, man. For me, I'm not too into it, but I dig that Amazon Web Services has it. Some of these exchanges and Certic has verified them. That's great. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be, it might be a good swing for the fences, but I don't know. I don't know about this one yet. I could be totally wrong and misinformed, man. It's not one that I'm going to be taking a swing for, even if I had a very small amount of money just to throw in initially. It just doesn't seem like my type of project that I'm into. But, thanks for bringing awareness to the Blue Crew, and they might jump in on it, and they could possibly make amazing gains. Who knows? We'll see. But thanks for bringing awareness. Who knows? Maybe this is a crypto I talk about a year from now and go like, yep, somebody in the Blue Crew brought up a future coin, and I was just too ignorant or too arrogant, right? I do have a strong kind of mantra that I stick to. It has to be related to Interledger Protocol in some way, shape, or form. Yes, there are swing for the fences type of cryptos that I do like to throw a little bit of money at, but this one doesn't seem like one that I would like to throw a little bit of money at. But we'll add it to the list just for kicks, man. So we're adding it to the list just for you, my man. Thanks for bringing awareness to the Blue Crew. What's up, Ani Brito? Good to see you. SEC approves Bitcoin futures ETF filed under the 33 Act. You were the one saying Siacoin is good like half a year back. Yep. I like Siacoin. They're connected with the Interledger protocol as well. Good info. V Session, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. Also, check it out on CoinMarketCap. There is an airdrop. Okay, yeah, right on. Yeah, Sniff's swing for the fences is Dogelon Mars. I would say my swing for the fences is, like anything that's sub a penny or around a penny is a swing for the fence type of crypto. Those are my swing for the fences ones. Cypherium, Stronghold, Aqua. But yeah, let's go into the deep reds here. So we have Ion. It looks like the Cosmos ecosystem is having a little bit of a retracement period right now. So this could be a good time to be accumulating some Cosmos ecosystem coins. Multivac we talked about yesterday. If you're into sharding protocol type of consensus algorithms, Multivac might be one to be looking into. I like DVPN around this range, especially because you can get staking rewards. And it's a sub a penny crypto. Could be a good swing for the fences one right there. Findora is part of the blockchain service network. So I like Findora. Warren Paul Anderson, who was a former Bitcoin developer, worked with Ripple, is working on this project. So this one looks like an exciting one for sure. Pack Protocol, just RIP Pack. It seems like Pack is just kind of dying very slowly. It's going to be very sad when we see Pack Protocol at triple zeros. And I'm sure on some exchanges it already is. Let me see what else. Digital Bits is a fork of the Stellar blockchain. We slept on this one big time when it was sub a penny and then at a penny, and now it's hanging really strong at around 27 cents. Share Ring is another good sub penny crypto that I like. It's about down 90% in the past year, part of the blockchain service network as well. I like speculating on the projects in the blockchain service network. What do you think of WTK? Calculon, I literally talked about it at the beginning of the stream here, man. But I appreciate you, Calculon. You're awesome, dude. I talked about WadsPay earlier in the stream. Maybe just roll it back and then just hear what I had to say about it then. But just in short, I don't know too much about it. A lot of XRP community members are into it. I'm not chasing the pump. It's pumped already a really good amount, so I'm not chasing the pump on it. I missed out on the WTK boat. Benny V. Dude, Benny V, man. You got to really find out how to learn how to non-copyright your music, man. Because I got copyright strike again for playing your music yesterday, my bro. So, you know, when you start sharing, like, make sure that it's for sure a non-copyright song, man. Maybe test it out on your own YouTube channel. And then see if you get copyright claim for it before sending it over to this channel, man, because yeah, I had to remove it. I know you paid for it, man, but it's still, the copyright's still under your name, right? So it's still, you know, I would just study how to make sure it's completely non-copyright music, right? XRP, XLM, that ALGO, God tier. Yeah, man, that does sound... I don't know about VeChain, to tell you the truth. I don't know about VeChain being God tier. VeChain is very appealing in a swing for the fences and speculative and supply chain type of thing. But I am very concerned for them not trying to expand into the US as much. I am concerned that they're not focused on payments first, that they wanted to go towards a use case that was not payments focused. So I'm interested for the long-term viability of VeChain. But XRP, XLM, Solana, and ALGO seems like a good God tier, or XRP, XLM, HBAR ALGO, or XRP, XLM, XDC, or XDC ALGO. VeChain, I don't know if I would throw in there, man, but you know, I could be eating my words with VeChain. I know a lot of people in the XRP community that love VeChain because VeChain claims to be regulatory compliant. And maybe that's why they haven't been able to break into the US yet. But I definitely need to see a little bit more coming from VeChain other than just really nice, fancy partnerships. I need to see really fast transactions. I want to see, you know, a lot more coming from VeChain for sure. I do hodl some VeChain. I've been hodling for a good long time, but I'm not like throwing VeChain in the same realm as XRP, you know? And once again, VeChain is trying to replace fiat, right? A lot of these cryptos aren't going in the same direction as XRP and XLM were. Like, this is what makes XRP and XLM so innovative, is that they don't want to replace fiat. They want to complement fiat to make the payment rails for fiat faster and cheaper and less friction, right? I understand VeChain wants to do that in terms of supply chain, but at the end of the day, they're using a digital asset. And if that digital asset can't keep up and do payments very, very well, then you're going to have a hard time trying to do everything else that you're aspiring to do, right? You're going to need a ton of liquidity. You're going to need a ton of activity. You're going to need fast transactions, very cheap, right? VeChain is connected to XRP. I don't know about that completely, man. We've heard about XRP, you know, we've heard about Sunny Lu saying Ripple and VeChain could be a good partner. But then ultimately, if Sunny Lu holds XRP in high regard, then that just makes me really just want to get more XRP at the end of the day. But that's my own, you know, opinion. Once again, you know, I'm just sticking to the fundamentals. If they can do payments very, very well, fast and cheap, I have no problem with them being able to do everything else aside from that, right? I mean, they were very smart for migrating away from Ethereum before everybody else was starting to migrate away from Ethereum, right? Same thing with Tron. TRX and VeChain were around that same era where they were like, yep, the migration away from Ethereum has begun and we're going to be the trendsetters for it. So I am bullish on VeChain. I just don't know if I would be setting up VeChain to be in a God tier. I haven't felt God tier status personally from VeChain, right? That's like a lot of high praise for a crypto that doesn't have like a ton of utility going for it yet. But that's just my opinion. Yeah, Sniff, I mean, VeChain founder can want whatever. If they don't do well enough with payments, and if there's not enough global liquidity to globally scale this project, you know, it's just a good, you know, it's just a project that's just going to really just drive off speculation for now. I think there was a really good statement here. Let me see if I can find this YouTube clip, because I think you guys will find it interesting. I forgot what her name was, man. Shoot, I forgot what her name is, dude. Ripple at Stanford. Let me see. Stanford. Where's the girl? Where's the lady? There was this lady that had an awesome speech at Stanford, and yes, this is the one. Yes, we found it. All right. All right, so she takes questions at around this range. I love that XRP was shown here, which is awesome. But let's see.
Kind of proof of work, energy burning thing to run a national system. They would instead sort of think it's a big problem. And so I think I will stop here and open up for questions.
Okay, here, let's listen to this last part of this video, because VeChain does come up in here.
We haven't gone yet about the value of the currency. Anything else? So let's open up to questions now. And then we got mics coming around. So up here.
Can you talk about the future of energy consumption and whether that's a risk for our climate change? Yeah. Oh.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about the future of energy consumption and all this data mining?
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's a big problem, and at some level, you know, if you said, oh, is a country going to try to use Bitcoin for their national currency, or are we really going to see something like this used at scale? I think that this energy consumption, money burning thing is just a fatal defect from having it really get big as a transaction mechanism. And so when you talk to countries, some countries are thinking about getting rid of cash entirely, like England is advanced in that. Some of the Scandinavian countries are thinking about that. And they have thought about, can we use this technology to have a fiat currency, but just not have cash, have it be purely digital. But none of them are seriously thinking about, you know, I'm going to have this kind of proof of work, energy burning thing to run a national system. They would instead sort of limit entry, like manually. You would have a distributed system, but you kind of have to have permission to join, and then you don't have to burn the money in the same kind of way. Yeah, is there?
So my understanding from the regulatory standpoint is the central banks will tolerate this as long as it's marginal. But the idea that you can move very large sums of money, which ultimately is fiat money, across borders is not something they're going to tolerate when it gets to scale.
So that's a great question. So I think it's really important to separate two use cases. So one is the consumer to consumer use case, like over Skype. And that, I think, is very threatening as to high inflation countries that have a lot of capital controls. And I would like go short any country that is dependent on capital controls, by the way, because you can't put this genie back in the bottle. Like, this technology is out there, and there are privacy-preserving versions of it. So essentially, you just cannot keep your capital in your country at scale in the future. But the concern about that is one reason they would clamp down. Of course, other things are sort of anti-money laundering and so on. Now, this is one reason I'm more interested in the business-to-business case, which is sort of what Ripple is doing, because in that case, nothing changes in terms of the regulatory framework. The consumer never touches it. The consumer is still going through the same financial institutions, and the financial institutions are just doing it on the back end. And for that use case, actually, the central banks of smaller countries are incredibly enthusiastic. They're actually pushing their countries forward. Because as a matter of national policy, having your entire country dependent on paying markups to Citibank is a bad thing. And you also subject to regulatory risk. Like the US can change regulations, which can make it harder for certain countries to move money where they want to move it. So from that perspective, getting this sort of peer-to-peer kind of regional networks, the central banks are actually incredibly enthusiastic. What they want, I think, is they're sort of happy to go to a new technology. They just want to make sure that they still have the normal gateways. And so that, I think, is a much more promising avenue. Nonetheless, they're still thinking more about the technological solution, and only some of them have really embraced cryptocurrency as a conduit, as a hub currency. Yeah.
So in your opinion, which cryptocurrency has actually tried to solve the flaws of Bitcoin? Or which is the most advanced? That's part one. Part two is that, is there a better model available than burning energy that can cure of the fundamental flaw in all these mechanisms?
So this is a very deep question, and you could read thousands of pages on Reddit of people arguing about this. So I will say a few kind of comments, but I cannot claim to have all the answers. So when I first started talking about alternative cryptocurrencies in, say, 2013, and I was involved with Ripple very early, there was a whole set of people, including some of our famous tech leaders in Silicon Valley, who would stand up and say, scale economies, the best thing doesn't always win. Bitcoin was first. Bitcoin, everything is going to be Bitcoin. These other things are all going to die. I would stand up and quietly raise my hand and say, well, if you're thinking about enterprise software, it's not all just like the Betamax and VHS and Netscape versus IE. In fact, in enterprise software, you typically have a lot of different vertical solutions serving different parts of the market with different combinations of features. And so my thought was that we will see different systems for different purposes. And in fact, that is sort of how that's evolved. So I don't think there's one size fits all. So Ripple wants to move, hundreds of billions of dollars or trillions of dollars between banks internationally. So they need a highly scalable system that is, and these proof of work stuff is just a complete non-starter. So they have sort of, in some sense, controlling who keeps track of the ledgers, and they also have software that allows you to just move things without even touching the cryptocurrency. So you wouldn't even really call it a cryptocurrency solution. For that use case, that is what's taking off, and the other things are not taking off so much. For developers, you might want a cryptocurrency that actually has the ability, more ability to write software embedded in the protocol. And so Ethereum has gone a lot in that direction in terms of making it easy for people to build software on top of Ethereum. So Ethereum is almost thinking of itself like an operating system, really. And so that's good for that. There are coins that preserve financial privacy. So there are coins that actually do everything that Bitcoin does, and there's still a big ledger, but nobody from the outside can look at it and reconstruct the network of who sent what to whom. If you're trying to evade capital controls or do money laundering, that's your currency. That looks great. And of course, consumers might have an interest in financial privacy, even if they're doing legitimate things, because if you can see on the network that you hold a lot of cryptocurrency, you're actually vulnerable to kidnapping and all sorts of other things. And you're more vulnerable with crypto because the money can move across borders so fast. So you're at risk of theft in a way that you're not for the money that's stored in a bank. So I would just say like they're different, and I don't think it's going to be one size fits all. I don't think there's going to be 1,000, but there may be 15 or 10 that actually each solve a different use case better. And the biggest problem right now is we actually have very little product market fit. There's hardly any actual use cases where this thing is really doing a great job. So trying to make it one size fits all just makes that problem harder rather than easier. But this is a very controversial thing, and there's to top it out, there's all these Twitter bots that are trying to make people buy and sell currencies, starting just like in the election. We had these Twitter bots that created division and tried to make everybody hate each other. Well, the crypto space has all these bots that try to make everybody hate each other and troll each other. So it's really just kind of a wild west in terms of the conversation on that topic.
We keep hearing about tokens all the time these days. Where do tokens fit into all of this?
Well, so I mean, the Bitcoin is the token for that ecosystem, and XRP is the token for the ledger. I think one of the ways people are kind of like have this idea of a token economy, and since I'm actually really a marketplace expert, this crypto thing is a relatively new thing. But I'm on the boards of Lending Club and Expedia and Rover, which are marketplaces. So I've got a lot of people coming into my office pitching me these like marketplace economies, where the idea is that, oh, you give your medical data, then somebody's going to pay you in a token, you hold the token, now you want to get other people to join the system so your token will get more valuable, and then that will grow. Or the tokens might also replace like frequent flyer miles or other types of ideas. So there's all these ideas about sort of businesses that are built on top of blockchains with tokens that are specific to the business, and then there becomes a little economy in those tokens, and everybody wants to make it grow, and they're all invested in the success of the business. So, in some level, that's how Bitcoin started. So you can't say that the idea doesn't make any sense, and it can make sense. But the hard part with all of those things is just getting them started. They all face a chicken and egg problem, and unless you have a good business, those tokens are just nothing. But it's a very hot topic for entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I'm still really confused about the whole voting business when it comes to all the different ledgers, the different versions. I mean, what actually happens if my computer actually keeps a ledger and a new transaction comes in? How does my computer either accept or reject that transaction as a legitimate transaction?
So this is kind of confusing because there's sort of
Hopefully this is informative to you guys. I got a feeling the VeChain question is going to be like the last one. But you know what? It's 6 minutes left in this thing, or 5 minutes left in this thing. So we're just going to check it out. I think she's saying some really good stuff that's just kind of bringing it down to earth. Because, we have such a microscope on this space, but, this type of person, or, these people like Susan Athay and sure, in terms of price, we're good at speculating that, right? We could speculate for days on different tokens and what they'll do in terms of price, but what they're actually, doing, right? What these tokens are actually doing, or what these businesses are actually doing, it brings some, real world, brings it back down to earth, right? It just lets you know how much truly we are in this Wild West type of phase. So I'm just going to continue on here, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks. We hit 30 likes on the stream. Wow. So yeah, here we go. Thank you.
In equilibrium and out of equilibrium. So when the system is working, then there's just software that you would run, and it would say, here's a new batch of transactions. It would check a set of rules. So was this person authorized to make the transaction? Did they have the Bitcoin, and so on? And so in that state of the world, the software just checks a set of things and then accepts or rejects it. So there's no problem. So what makes it more confusing is if
Hey, Dieselhand, I understand VeChain is not for payments, but you have to do payments well. If you can't do payments first as a digital asset, then why would they want to use you for anything else? Because that's what happens between computers, right? Is a transaction happens of data, of the token. So if the token can't transact quickly and efficiently and scale, then what makes it possible to solve all these other use cases?
If you think about some sort of out of equilibrium behavior, which could take a whole bunch of different forms, but they all would have the same idea of putting things on the ledger that didn't follow the rules. And so that's the case where other people would say, hey, my copy doesn't look like your copy. And if they're following the rules, they would just say, well, I don't know what happened, but you must have made a mistake. We're going to do the same thing as everybody else. I checked and I agree. He checked and he agrees. All good. We just keep going. So these attacks are the things that are sort of could take a variety of different forms.
Could you speak a little bit more about blockchain for good, specifically like VeChain for vaccine authentication or other?
There you go. There's the VeChain question right here. Finally, we get to it. So here, let me just rewind it a bit. Okay.
Could you speak a little bit more about blockchain for good, specifically like VeChain for vaccine authentication or other healthcare applications?
Sure. So, and there's, again, a whole variety of them. A lot of them are nascent. I think one idea that I think does have legs is trying to follow supply chains in complex settings. So if you're the Gates Foundation and you're trying to move money around Africa, you give the money and there's this whole leakage along the way, and a lot of stuff isn't digital, and there's a lot of corruption, so it's hard to make sure it got where it was going. So one thing you can imagine happening, and it's certainly been discussed, is that some big institution, whether it's like the World Bank or the Gates Foundation or someone else that's really big, could sort of force their supply chain to track funds through a distributed ledger. And that might be useful because the people you're dealing with don't actually have identities. Like, you actually have to use suppliers who you really can't verify, and the countries themselves don't have good legal institutions and so on. So that's a good use of the blockchain. If it's just funds, you could just see them going from one person to the other, and they would be dispersed, split up as you go along. So a big block grant here, and then it's dispersed and dispersed and dispersed, but you would have a ledger that keeps track of that until the very end. Another way that you can do that is with physical goods. And there you get into this challenge of how do you keep track of the physical good. But the really simple version of the idea is there's some kind of barcode that's really embedded in the good that you can't take out easily. And you scan it at the beginning. And then as it moves along, it's scanned again. And every time it moves from party to party, that triggers funds being released as well as a record of what happened. And again, we already have IT systems to do that today. It works great inside a firm, but it doesn't work so well if you're going across countries in Africa or someplace that doesn't have good systems. So those are some of the applications that might get donors to give more money or make things more efficient. And then other types of things, I mean, the vaccines, like maybe there's counterfeit vaccines. So you might want to scan the vaccine at the factory and see that this is an authentic vaccine, and then at the end you could tell that it was real. And people have also talked about it for just counterfeit luxury goods in China. There have been versions of those businesses that don't involve blockchains. And when you really dig into it, you might say, well, do I really need, I don't need the full Bitcoin, I just need a database, I just need a database with access. So the questions still arise of like, what's the best way to do that? What's the very best technological system to manage a supply chain?
So yeah, I mean, she wasn't shutting down VeChain for any reason, right? But still, there's payments being made. There's a transaction of data, right? So it's in the data transaction. It's in the database itself. It's, there's a lot more that goes into it. Like, a lot of people think VeChain is the only one that's going towards IoT, Internet of Things, supply chain, and really spearheading it. And yes, it does have some really quality partners with it. But if you do some research into IOTA, if you do some research into TRAC, TRAC, that token, those ones are just as comparable in terms of competition, in my opinion, with VeChain. But at the end of the day, how do they do with payments, right? Are they solving trillion-dollar problems? Are they going to be funneling and using a digital asset for trillions of dollars of workflow, of flow, right? I think a lot of people get really caught up into just thinking VeChain's the only one dealing with supply chain. And yeah, supply chain is definitely a critical use case for blockchain and distributed ledger technology. But if you can't do payments well with your token, then what are you going to, and can't provide sufficient enough liquidity, then, what else, what do you have, right? My bad on the loud music there. I always forget that coming back from a video. My bad, guys. I get it. Now the chat's going to blow up. Chat's going to blow up and saying loud music, stop it, stop it. But here, let me see if we can get a sheesh to drive our point home further. Here we go.
To come up on stage to get where we are today. Standing here, and I'm excited to tell you a little bit about our path to digital currencies and dollars in market cap. People, you worked in blockchain, they thought you were crazy there. And it's sort of like, how do you make sense of some of this madness that's out there fit? Are you using blockchain to solve a specific problem? Or are you just using blockchain to fundraise or because it's the latest buzzword? So that's number one. Number two, even if you're solving a problem, is that problem big enough for your customers to care? And what we've found is that, listen, if that problem is not 10x better by your blockchain solutions, they don't care. It's not
Sorry, I'm trying to find the statement right here that really drives it home for me.
worth the change and the hassle to go through and implement your new fancy blockchain solution. And the third, because we are here talking about payments, you can't talk about payments without talking about regulation. And so what's your regulatory strategy? Are you engaging in safe, compliant ways to move money, especially in Ripple's case where it's cross-border? And so I think that's the third one. And so how do you separate the signal from the noise? I mean, there is a company that has a iced tea on the blockchain. The main thing is, I mean, are you solving customer problems? Are you gaining traction? And do you have product market fit? And you know, that's what we've been about from day 13. A lot of them horrible ideas.
Okay, here we go.
There. Early on, we tried a whole bunch of things on the blockchain in 2013. A lot of them horrible ideas. But we took a page from Jeff Bezos and Amazon and really boiled it down to what is Ripple going to be good at, and we really picked cross-border payments. And we focused and focused and focused on cross-border payments, and partially because almost every other use case you build upon that's innovative on the blockchain starts with innovating on payments itself.
Right there. Just one more time. Let him repeat that, because that's very important to understand.
Chain starts with that's innovative on case you build upon. Every other use case you build upon that's innovative on the blockchain starts with innovating on payments itself. For example, smart contracts. Contracts have been around for a long time. People put it on a blockchain. They called it a smart contract. That's the only thing that's different. What's novel about it is that you can have people run your application around the world without knowing them, without trusting them, because you can pay for it using a digital asset. And that's the innovation. So it comes back to payments as the baseline use case for a lot of other things that will come on the blockchain. But if you don't solve payments first, you can't innovate on top of it.
If you don't solve payments first, you can't innovate on top of it. So that's all I care about. If you do payments very well, all those other use cases will come. Supply chain, smart contracts, all those type of things will eventually come. You know, it's like, so I try not to get too lost in, oh man, they're solving a supply chain thing. Oh man, they're doing I love Juno with interoperable smart contracts and speculate on it, but how does it do in terms of payments? How do they do in terms of payments? How much liquidity is on it, right? To build on blockchain, you need to do payments very well first, right? And what's the number one use case right now for DLT that's worth focusing on is the cross-border payments use case, right? The cross-border payments use case. Trillions of dollars. Why focus on any other use case? In terms of investing, yeah, investing in supply chain, because there is supply chain problems. Don't get me wrong. There's definitely massive problems in terms of supply chain. But if we're asking for blockchain to solve that problem for supply chain, that blockchain better be damn good at doing payments and focusing on payments first. So VeChain could go up to $3. It could go up to $4. It could go up to a high price. And that'll be amazing. And I'll be happy for everybody who's a VeChain holder. But is it going to be at that high price because it's solving a real problem and actually doing things? Or is it just because we're still in the Wild West and speculative investment has just grown and gone into VeChain, right? It's really about what's the long-term viability? How is this going to scale, right? How is the tech going to scale? How well does it do for payments? I should be honest, I sold my VeChain for XRP a few months ago. I still hold a VeChain. Guys, I'm a VeChain holder, right? But I'm just not all like gaga about freaking VeChain and saying that, you know, its use case is comparable to that of XRP, right? And remember, XRP being the first decentralized exchange to be released, the first to want to go anti-proof of work, VeChain had to migrate from proof of work. Right? They realized that there was a problem. Like, that's kudos to VeChain and the VeChain team for, you know, recognizing, oh, yeah, there's a problem with proof of work and Ethereum. We need to migrate away from it, right? But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening in the future, right? So if the token is on board with ISO 20022, then boom. Yeah, I think so too, because they do payments really well, right? They could do the messaging very well. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in for another DL Talk. That was fun near the end there, man. I love having those type of discussions. And once again, I'm not saying don't invest in VeChain. And once again, I'll never tell you guys what to do. VeChain, dude, it was sub a penny for a long ass time. There's people who have possibly even become millionaires from the recent pump that VeChain had. And hell, my bag's made a pretty good gain too, because we got into VeChain when it was, you know, a lot of the OGs here remember VeChain when it was sub a penny. But once again, it doesn't mean that the project is great. It just means that the speculative hype came to it and carried it, right? It's not signs of actual utility or anything like that, but we'll see what ends up happening in the future, without a doubt. Once again, I am bullish on VeChain. I'm not saying it's like in a god tier, though, with XRP and XLM, but that's just my own opinion. Only the future can tell. And, you know, I do hope I eat my words, because then that means I make some really good profits with VeChain as well, and why not, you know? But anyways, everybody, what's up, Alchemist? Yep, this is the Crypto Clown Show. Thanks for tuning in, man. VeChain is an excellent 750. Yeah, right on. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in for another DL Talk. Much love to the Blue Crew. Always good seeing everybody here. And if I missed any comments, you know, please forgive me. We were just checking out those videos, and hopefully that was very informative to you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you, BTC community, XRP community, DLT community, crypto community, and all the communities out there. The future is distributed ledger technology. Oh, I hear you, Alchemist. And the future is bright. It is a clown show, man. It's the Wild West. Hopefully we get some regulations, and oh, I'm just looking up in the sky. Give me a second. Hopefully we get some regulations, and hopefully we get to see real utility bull runs. That would be awesome. I like Mahalo. That's awesome. Keep the eye of the tiger, y'all. Our future is bright. See you guys in the next one. Adios. which one to go out on? We'll do Sunny Days. We like Sunny Days. That's a good song.